In this world, yeah, you can plan whatever you want in life, but God and the universe is the best planner because you just never know what's going to happen. You plan to go this route and a curveball gets thrown in there. So I've just been ready for whatever, whenever, and I'm here ready for this competition, but I'll still be on course where I need to get to.
Obviously, the main event, I've got to ask you, you've been the only one to face Ngannou thus far. Do you think that you've kind of laid the way for Joshua to have an easier night than you, or is Ngannou going to be better for having fought you?
I don't know. You're going to find out Friday, ain't you? Two big old fellas going to knock lumps out of each other, and I'm going to be there to watch it. And like I said to the other people, along the line, one of them will get a shot at the World Championship from me.
If you had to put a couple of quid on it, where would you go? Which way would you go?
I don't gamble. I don't know. Whoever wins, wins. It's not really any of my concern. But I will say, whoever wins will get a fight for the championship down the line.
After Joshua's display with Wallen, he said he's back. He noted that he'd done much better against Wallen than you. Do you feel like...
Yeah, he fought Wallen 5 years later than I did. He did. Styles make fights. You can't really compare who did better against who until you fought each other, you know what I mean? I don't think he's back. Wallen was his sparring partner. He's probably beat him up a million times. It was what it was. Until he's in there with somebody who can fight back properly, another good boxer, then we'll see if he's back.
And last,
I don't know, everybody that do doubt, but I don't check on them. I don't focus on them. I focus on me and in my capability, what I can do, you know, my fighting spirit, the strength that I can put in to fight.
you had the element of surprise, which is everyone is saying for the first fight. Now you've got experience, but they know at least how you came last time. Do you have enough experience to change your style or to bring something different in only your second fight?
Well, I don't think 10 rounds of fighting is enough to know exactly what some fighters, what is his style, everything that he can do. Basically, in the fight, that was like to take the temperature of the water.
Francis, how much has your style changed and evolved from the Fury fight until now?
How much, I don't know, but I do know that he does evolve. I have been training based on the experience that I have from that last fight. And then even from the last training camp, who was very important because the training camp was even tougher than the fight. You know, I had that experience coming into this one, and this training camp, even though it was shorter, but he was easier in terms of preparation, in terms of body mechanics and the use of everything.
Lastly, obviously, the face-off, we've got 276 pounds of Ngannou facing down Joshua. What did you see here at the weigh-in? Last thoughts on the fight?
I'll be honest with you, I saw a nervous Francis Ngannou. He's not in his comfort zone. I would expect him, I would be petrified if I was fighting Anthony Joshua. Because we can say that Ngannou's strong and he punches hard, he does all of those things. Ask yourself this question, who would you rather fight, right? Say that you had to get in there on Saturday night. Who would you rather fight? You have to choose Ngannou because you know you're going to get peppered by AJ and smashed to pieces. With Ngannou, I mean, at least you've got a guy who hasn't done it that often. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like Ngannou knows he's in for him being nervous up there really doesn't mean anything as to what's going to happen on Friday. He's still going to be all the things that he's going to be, which is strong, dangerous, tough, resilient. But we should be schooling this guy, and I believe we will. We've just got to be smart, switched on, and get the job done.
I said much the same when we saw Ngannou step in the ring the first time. First-time fighter, gave Fury all he could handle. And now we're seeing an 0-1 fighter facing your man, Anthony Joshua. He's at 276 pounds. What do you expect from Ngannou tomorrow night? And what do you make of him as a boxer?
Ngannou's going to try and bully AJ, but we want AJ to box him for a couple rounds and then knock him out. That's it.
Do you rate Ngannou as a boxer after his performance?
No. Listen, I've been saying to these people, I gave Ngannou a nickname. I was like, Ngannou is a Superman of Africa. Do you understand? He's our Superman, you know, because his life has dealt him so much shit in his life, and he's come out of it smelling like roses. Do you understand? And there's nothing I can say right now to try and bring him down or anything, because everything he's done so well. Do you understand? UFC, boxed for the UFC title once. He lost. He boxed again. He won it. You know, he left UFC because they didn't want to. Oh, you did it to me again. You know, he left UFC because they didn't want to. you know, but he left UFC because they didn't want to like give him more money and other fighters more money. And then and Dana White's like, you'll never fight again, but I bet you money Dana White wants him back in the UFC. Do you understand? Yeah. So you know what? Shout out to Ngannou, and then to all African kids that are watching this, all you want to do is inspire to be like Ngannou. Do you understand?
Well, when you fight Tyson Fury, he's so highly dimensional. He can fight coming forward. He could get on the jab. He could fight on the back foot. He could dirty box and clinch you up. Tyson is a complex matrix to solve. Joshua is a simpler matrix to solve because he's a conventional, orthodox, basic boxer. But remember, don't misconstrue my words. Simpler doesn't mean easier. Most old school coaches will tell you the basics are what wins fights. So we view this fight as a more hard, more difficult challenge because Anthony Joshua does have lights out power. He does have a strong right hand. The right uppercut and the straight right is very deadly. He can get on the back foot, prod with the jab, hit that drop step counter he loves to throw so elegantly and so precisely. Or he can come forward with his jab, put the right hand on it, and add that left uppercut or that left hook. Or his left body shots, respectable also. Whatever he does, Francis can answer it for sure. Francis is an improved boxer from the Tyson Fury fight, from the experience he gained from the Tyson Fury fight, and just from believing in himself and working hard in the gym and having the right sparring. So he's prepared. Whatever style Joshua fights, I'm sure Francis will be able to complement it and give us the advantage.
Man, unit, solid and robust, very hard to hurt. Got an MMA background, very tough, physically big, can punch, and is patient.
When you're two big men in the heavyweight division, but you're in against a bigger man, a really bigger man, as AJ finds himself against Francis Ngannou, mentally, is that a factor when you were in fights, when you were against taller, bigger opponents, maybe you didn't fight the physical advantages? Was that ever something of a concern or something that you'd have to factor in?
Yeah, I think but for the likes of Tyson and AJ, they're always the bigger man in all of their fights, in weight and in height. That wasn't the case when they fought Ngannou, and won't be the case with AJ. So it'll be something that he'll have to deal with. It'll be a new experience for him.
It's the big if. Right. It's only the big if.
It's the big if, but Johnny, we hate being wrong, right? Which is why not only it took some humility to apologize, but it's the same thing that you say. This sport, you can't just walk in the front door, nothing on your resume, and fight even a mid-range fighter, much less a lineal heavyweight champion. And he's done that and made it competitive. But are we now going to be victims of our own hubris and say, well, now that he's done it, and now we've seen this and he's able to do that, well, now we're making this more of a competitive matchup than it should be? Shouldn't this still be a mismatch?
You know what? As far as I'm concerned, common sense should prevail. Anthony Joshua's skill and experience as a professional boxer. You look at his pedigree from the Olympics all the way through to being a two-time heavyweight champion of the world. The amount of ex-champions he's beaten at boxing. This should be a shutout. The only way Ngannou wins is if that big if appears. That big if is this. This guy can punch. He punches like a mule kicks. If he hits AJ with a full-blooded shot, you know he can punch. On the shoulder, on the rib, on the hip, on the chin. It's a case of how Anthony Joshua deals with that response. He's going to get hit.
Well, he might get hit that way to the body.
He will get hit because this
more likely than the chin.
Yeah. So I saw Ngannou like just tapping the pads. You know, you play golf and you know you've got a good shot because the ball's like a bing.
Yeah, you hear
the So when he was hitting the pads, it was like boom. It was just solid. You thought, damn.
But you saw him do the work on the body shield, right? Mm-hmm. Listen, I think he showed his hand a little bit. Like the work he was doing on the body yesterday, I think betrays the game plan he has for Friday. You think Joshua can take? Everyone's worried about the chin. You think he can take it to the body like that?
You know what? If Joshua got stopped, I'm not saying Joshua gets stopped. If he got stopped, it'll be a body shot. It won't be a chin shot, it'll be a body shot if he gets stopped. And it's a big if. That's the only chance I'm giving Ngannou because I'm a boxing snob. There's no way this guy should come into our sport of boxing and beat any top 10 heavyweight worth his weight in salt, unless that top 10 heavyweight does what Tyson Fury did. Tyson Fury got the gypsies warning. Yeah, he got through and got the win. And everybody's thinking, well, did you really? And everybody knows who Ngannou is. So they're going to respect this guy and prepare to the best of their ability, like Anthony Joshua did. The worry is this. If you box, you're going to get hit. And Anthony Joshua is very orthodox compared to Tyson Fury is very unorthodox. And Ngannou still had success with such an unorthodox fighter in Tyson Fury. So Anthony Joshua cannot box defensively. If he boxes defensively, Ngannou's going to squeeze him down and eventually get him down. And if he gets up close and personal, that's heaven for him. He's close. You know, Ngannou's close, up close. That's what he does.
On the inside, he was very impressive against Fury.
He'll get him tired, tie him up, and AJ will have to fight his way out, and that's what will zap the energy out of him. If he tries to box offensively, Ngannou showed he's got patience, no panic, hand-for-eye coordination. He's not the fastest, but he's waiting for the time counter. This guy can punch. AJ has to box sharp, box smart, box intelligently. If he boxes him, he beats him. I don't believe he knocks him out. I really don't. I believe he beats him on points.